Yeah, good morning, one and all. I welcome you all to this session on public speaking. We have with us Sri Satish Valiviti, who is an expert in dealing these topics. I request Sri Satish sir to take over the class.
Thank you, sir. So good morning, friends. Welcome to this program called Speak with Power. Friends, before we start the session, I want everyone to be on mute and everyone's videos should be off. So everybody, please switch off your videos. Switch off your videos, please. All right, thank you so much. So friends, the only way we communicate through these sessions is with the chat. So when I ask you some questions, I want you to actually participate and type your answers in the chat. Right? So friends, to start with, there are three things that must happen, friends. One, you must be able to see me clearly. Two, you must be able to hear my voice clearly. And three, the slide should be seen clearly. If all three are happening, type 3 in the chat box, please. Fantastic. Yes, someone asked me, am I recapping the last 2 sessions? Yes. Friends, the first 1 hour of this program today, we'll be recapping day 1 and day 2, and then we'll continue with our topics, right? So a lot of students, I know that a lot of students are joining us for the first time today. So friends, if you are watching this session, public speaking for the first time live, type yes in the chat box, please. Right. Okay, fine. So a lot of students here, and maybe chartered accountants, a lot of students, you are watching this public speaking live for the first time. Good. So don't worry, friends. We will take you step by step and we'll go further, right? So friends, before we start the session, I want to genuinely thank the Student Skills Enrichment Board and also the Vijayawada branch of ICAI of Sikasa for bringing this program and making us meet virtually. So without they taking the initiative, we would never meet like this and learn the skills to grow in life. So everyone please type clap in the chat box for the Student Skill Enrichment Board and the Vijayawada branch, please. Everyone please type clap. Fantastic. Nice. So friends, the quick rules to start, okay? Before we start, some quick rules to follow to make this program happen. I firstly want to congratulate everyone sitting there, all the students watching this session. I genuinely congratulate you. I tell you why, friends. Everybody wants to get successful in life, but a lot of people, they only wish to get successful. They don't do much about it. But actually, very few people take action to build their skills and to grow in life. And you're one such person. On a Sunday morning, you have the choice of sitting in your home and just changing your TV channels. But you didn't do that. You came here, you opted to attend a public speaking program. You came here to build your skills. You came here to make your personality development happen. And I genuinely respect you for that, right? So you are an action-oriented person. I deeply respect you for that. And my dear friends, please maintain this zeal all through the sessions and make sure that you'll take this program seriously. And in common hours, we'll learn exactly how to build the skill of public speaking, right? So friends, now, I repeat one more time, all the students kindly switch off your videos, please. Videos off, right? Thank you. Good. So friends, 5 quick rules to start. Every session that happens every Sunday here from morning 11 to 1, right? Every Sunday 11 to 1 is our slot. We'll catch up every Sunday. 5 rules to get the max from this program. 1, please take notes, friend. If possible, have a separate book and pen for this program especially, and also use sketch pens. Try to make the notes as colorful as possible. Number 2 is revision. Please make sure that you revise the notes as often as possible. If not every day, at least alternate days. What I mean is, friends, next Sunday when I come back, when we talk about the next topics, when I ask you any questions from the previous topic, I don't want you to keep a blank face there, right? I want you to answer it very quickly. So for that, revision matters. So revision is a father of memory. So please make sure you revise. Third, and the most important, is your active participation. Though we're having a virtual session here, though I cannot see you, when I give some activities, please participate as if you're in a live session. Also, when I ask you questions, very actively participate by typing the answers in the chat. Don't just sit passively. You want to build the skill. You were anyway here for 2 hours with me every Sunday. So let's make the max benefit out of it by actively participating. If yes, type yes. Good. So like this, I want your active participation. Very nice. The fourth important rule is consistency, friends. Please understand, skills are not built overnight. One good news is, for human beings, any skill is learnable. I repeat, for a human being who's got willingness, any skill is learnable. And public speaking is a skill. So it's absolutely learnable, but you need to maintain consistency. Please don't skip sessions in between. Okay, we have 20 sessions altogether, so don't miss any of the sessions. In case, because of your reasons like examinations, if you miss 1 or 2 sessions, the good news is these sessions will be available in YouTube, right? So but still, live sessions are live sessions, so please make sure you come consistently every Sunday. And last but not the least, keep me posted, friends. As we go through these sessions, as I keep teaching you some great concepts, any doubts you have, please make sure you keep me posted. When I give you some assignments to do, when I give you some activities to do, if you get stuck anywhere, please keep me posted. Not just in the session, friends. All through the week, anywhere you got stuck, I'm just one phone call away. I'm just one WhatsApp message away, right? So anytime you get stuck, you can just ping me. And at the best of my knowledge, we'll work together like a team, and we go together, we'll grow together. Agree? Type yes. So 5 rules: take notes, revise notes, actively participate, maintain consistency, and keep me posted. Fantastic. So let's get started. Right. Friends, chapter 1 is called the basics. Take a fresh page, friends. Take a fresh page and put the heading, the basics. In this chapter, we'll be learning 4 important lessons. The first lesson is called the 4 parts of success. The second lesson is called the connecting power. Lesson 3 is called 1 degree shift. And lesson 4 is called nose of the horse. Let's go one by one. The first lesson is called the 4 parts of success. Friends, the truth is that we all want to get successful, right? Now, on this planet, friends, how many want to get successful? Type your answers quickly. On this planet, how many people do you think want to get successful in life? Everyone. Good. And how many friends actually get successful? How many actually get successful? Very good. Very, very few. Statistically speaking, only 4%. That's what statistics prove. Everybody wants to get successful, but only 4% are actually achieving success, my friends. Do you know this? Right? So my target and your target is, we want to be in the top 4%. Agree? Now, but before we get into the top 4%, we need to have clarity first as to what success means. Because if you ask people what success means to you, everybody would give me a different answer. Agree? So for you, success may be different. For your friend, success can be different. For your father, success can be something else, right? So if you want to be in the top 4%, if you want to achieve true success in life, you need to first have clarity, my friends, as to what success means. So good news is, the psychologists made a thorough research on this topic called success, and they came up with a universally acceptable definition for success. And that definition is called fish. You know, success means fish. Yeah, you're right. Definition success is relative. That's why, to create a universally acceptable definition, the psychologists made a thorough research for years together, and they came up with a solution, and they said success means fish. So please make a note of it. Success is equal to fish. Write fish in vertical format. F below Fi, below Is, below Sh. So write fish in a vertical format, please. And this, the FISH, these 4 are called the 4 parts of success. My dear friends, if you truly want to be in the top 4%, if you want to get successful, it's you got to achieve 4 things in life. If you don't achieve the combo of all the four, if you achieve one or two, good. But only when you achieve all the four, you're truly considered successful, friends. Now, what are these four parts of success? Write down F. The first one, F, stands for great family bonding. Friends, do you all agree that family is a priority? Isn't it, friends? No matter who you are, whether you are a student, you're a professional, whoever you are in life, friends, if you are not happy with your family, you can't have a happy day. Agree, friends? Yes or no? Isn't it? So family is a priority. So if you want to be truly called successful, one of the achievements you got to make in life is having a great family bonding. Write down I stands for great income. Make note of it. I is equal to great income. Money is important. Agree, friends? Yes or no? Isn't it? See, I don't say money is the only thing that's important. No, but definitely money is one important ingredient of success. I like what Zig Ziglar says. He says money is next to oxygen today. And it's true, isn't it? Friends, if you want to have a great lifestyle, if you want to take care of your family better, your family, and if you want to take care of your parents when they get old, if you have some ideas here, if you want to make them into projects, if you want to help people who are underprivileged, any area of this, you need money. Agree, friends? Type yes. Right. So the second thing you got to achieve in life, if you want to be truly successful, one is great family bonding. Number two is great income, my friends. Right on number three, yes stands for great skills. Please make a note of it. In fish, yes stands for great skills. If you want to be successful, my friends, there are 5 skills you need to master. If you want to be the top 4%, besides great family bonding, besides great income, there are 5 basic skills. Top 4% people, they mastered 5 basic skills. Please make note of them quickly. The first skill is the power of communication. Right. The first one is power of communication. Second skill you need to master is time management. Time management. The third skill is called decision making skill. Decision making skill. Fourth skill, friends, I'm sure you're making a note of it. Please write notes in detail. Let this book be a handbook for you whenever you want to build your skills further, right? So one, power of communication. Two, it's called time management. Three is called decision making skill. The fourth skill you need to master is a skill called goal setting. Goal setting. And the fifth one is called learning skills. Learning skills. Friends, if you want to be successful, do you agree that communication plays a major role in life? Do you agree time management is crucial? Do you agree that if you don't take the right decisions in life, you may end up being a failure? Friends, let me tell you this. 10 years back, I don't know how your life today is, but 10 years back, some decisions you took is why your life is today like this. Agree, friends? If you have taken some other decisions 10 years back, your life would be totally different today. Good or bad, I don't know, but I know this, that 10 years back, the decisions you took is shaped your destiny today. Agree? So friends, your decision-making skill is another crucial skill. And the next skill is goal setting. Most people don't know the power of setting goals. Goal setting gives you a direction, gives you a focused mind. And the fifth one is learning skill. In India, especially, I see many students, once they get their qualification, it's like, I'm done with education. No. Understand, my friends, top 4% people, they believe that they're lifelong students. They believe they're lifelong learners, right? So if you want to be successful, family bonding, great income, you got to build great skills in you. And last but not the least, write down H stands for great health. You got to achieve great health. When I say great health, I mean both physical health and mental health. So this is it, friends. Now you tell me, no, just I want everyone to think for a second. Think for a second and give me an answer. Think of this day in your life. Imagine a day in your life when you have great family bonding, right? You're extremely having great, see, small ups and downs happen in every family. I'm not talking about that, but overall, you're having a great family bonding. You're making big income in life. You're very, very skillful, and you're having great physical stamina and great mental fitness. Just imagine, friends, if you have these, all these, what else do you want in life? Answers, please. If you have all this, what else do you want in life? See, You know why most of you feel nothing else we require? Good. Why? Because friends, when we say we wanted to get successful, yeah, friends, peace of mind and happiness, they come into mental health, sir, right? Good points. But peace of mind and happiness are states of minds which belong to mental health, by the way. Yeah. So friends, you know why most of us said this is all we need? Because this, my friends, is what true success definition is as per research done by psychologists. And that is why this is called universally acceptable definition of success, right? And do you know, friends, if you want this kind of life, and by the way, only 4% are able to achieve this kind of life. That's the point, right? See, some people are able to make big income, but they lack health. Some people are able to be very skillful, but they lack the family bonding. Some people are good at family bonding, but they lack maybe skills or they lack income. So having one or two, I'm sure even you have seen so many people out there, but achieving a combo of fish, living a true fish life, only 4% of people are able to achieve this, friends. And if you want to be in that top 4%, you know there's one power, there's one connecting power if you want to have a great fish. My dear friends, I request every participant to be on mute and please switch off your videos, please. Yeah, everyone, please be on mute and kindly switch off your videos. Good. So friends, do you know there's one connecting power? There's one power that connects all these fish. If you want to really achieve this kind of life, there is one power and we call it the connecting power. And that power, my friends, is the power called the power of communication. That lesson two, by the way, the connecting power is the power of communication. Friends, let me give an example. In fish, F stands for great family bonding. Friends, do you agree that to have a great family bonding, communication matters a lot? Yes or no, friends? Do you know 80% of families have disputes just because they lack proper communication? Do you know that? I know so many families where the head of the family, the father of the family, he struggles, he sacrifices, he does everything for the family, but just because he doesn't know how to communicate his love properly, just because he sounds harsh every time he speaks, the family hates him for that. Have you seen such experiences in life, friends? Type yes. It's not that the father doesn't love the family. He does. He loves so much. That's why he struggles so much. But just because he doesn't know how to communicate, the family misunderstands him. Because he sounds so blunt, he sounds so harsh, the family hates him for that. Okay, some cute little girl smiling there. So kindly mute your phones, please. Right. Let's talk about income, friends. Okay, family. Okay, fine. Let's talk about income now, friends. Do you agree that if you want to make great income, communication is the key? Do you agree that you need, if you are great at communicating to your boss, to your colleagues, to your clients, to your customers, that really matters when it comes to building your career? Yes or no, my friends? Isn't it? Similarly, let's talk about education, for example. Do you agree that there is this one boy, example, one boy who's got high knowledge? He's very intellectual, he's got high knowledge, he's scored very well in his examinations, but when he goes to the interview, if he cannot communicate what he knows appropriately, if he stutters, if he speaks in a very confusing, hesitating way, there's a high possibility he may not get his dream job. Yes or no, friends? Type your answers, please. Isn't it? Communication, my friends. Understand. Let me give one more example. Do you agree that there's one man who's like highly eligible? He's like no bad habits, very, very genuine person. He's got a great heart and a great mind, and he's got very, very polite manners. He's got no bad manners whatsoever. He's highly eligible to be a great husband. But if that man, if he doesn't know how to communicate his love to his loved girl in an appropriate way, there's a possibility she might reject him and he may lose his dream girl. Yes or no? Any area, my friends, today talk about any area. Communication is a connecting power, friends. Let's talk about two speakers, public speaking speakers. Okay, one speaker is like he's a vice president of a company. Okay, let's say one person is a vice president of a company, vast experience, vast knowledge, but when he comes on the stage, he looks nervous, he hesitates while he speaks, he stutters. And this other person who's not as experienced as this vice president, who's not as knowledgeable as him, but when he goes on the stage, he speaks with power, he holds the audience, mesmerizes them, he connects with them, and he delivers a speech powerfully. Whom do you think, friends, the audience will like? The one with the vast experience or the one who's confident on the stage? Type your answers, please. experience or confidence? Exactly, right? You know why majority of you said it's the confidence one? You're right, by the way. Why? Because understand, friends, there is power of this something called power of communication, which is a key that connects your life. Let me give one more example, one last example. Let's talk about professional life. Let's talk about lawyers. Okay, there are two lawyers. One lawyer, a normal lawyer, he charges 2,000 rupees for arguing a case for 1 hour. And Ram Jetmalani, one of the top lawyers on of the country, now you do know he charges 25 lakhs for the same 1 hour of arguing the case. Do you know that? Normal lawyer takes 2,000 an hour, and Ram Jetmalani takes 25 lakhs is what he charges. Let's think of this. For both these lawyers, friends, the law is the same. The law books are the same, right? But why is this a huge variance in the way they charge money? Why do you think so, friends? Because you know Ram Jetmalani, he's got the power of communication. Agree, friends? If you agree, type yes. So my dear friends, to have a great life, we need to have fish. But to have a great fish, there's one connecting power, and that's called the power of communication, right? We face language issues, like many of my friends are still not able to speak English in the local language. They can convince anyone. Nice, nice. Okay, Shyam. Okay, everyone. Thank you for your questions. But friends, right now I'm focused in covering good content for you today. So any questions, we'll have a Q&A session at the last. So I'll answer your questions at the end, right? So right now I'm not looking at the chat. So let me focus on finishing the content faster, right? So I appreciate your questions. Let's talk about the questions at the end, right? Good. So friends, let's go to the third lesson now in the basics, the 1 degree shifts. Now we understood what success means, which is fish. We also understood to achieve fish with this one connecting power, and that's the power of communication. So this entire program, every Sunday as we come here together, this entire program will be learning how to build a power of communication. We'll learn how to speak with power and build a public speaking skill, right? But before we do that, there's something called a 1 degree shift you need to understand. Friends, I want everyone to do this activity right now. I want you to take a fresh page and I want to draw a graph, x-axis and y-axis. Draw a 20-degree line. Everyone please participate. Draw a 20-degree line, approximate. Don't take a protractor. Approximately draw a 20-degree line. Once done, type done in the chat. I repeat again, friends, everyone please participate. That's how you learn this and build a skill. Just draw a 20-degree line. Good. Now what you'll do, friends, don't use a protractor. Just draw a 21-degree line now. On the same graph, draw a 21-degree line, just a 1 degree shift. Draw a 21-degree line. Once done, type 21. Once you're done, type 21. Good. If my guess is right, look at the slide. The graph looks more or less like this. Agree, friends? Type agree. Right? Exactly, right? So this is how the graph looks like. Now here's the power of 1 degree shift. Let me explain what 1 degree shift means. Friends, if you observe these two lines, the 20-degree line and the 21-degree line, if you observe these two lines, initially, they both look like the same line, right? More or less, they look like the same line. But as they proceed further, you find the gap happening in them. Agree, friends? And do you know this? If you take the 20-degree line, and if I take the 20-degree line, if we keep drawing it, if we both keep drawing it and drawing it, and if we keep drawing it for the next 1 year, you know what? We both will end up in 2 different countries. Do you know this, friends? Though the line started almost like a single line, if we keep drawing it for 1 year, we both, okay, friends, your screen is not shared on max. I didn't understand, Radha. I didn't understand what you said. Okay, friends, is my slide visible to everyone? Okay, good. Right. Then if someone can help her how to view it. Okay. So friends, now, do you know, friends, if I take one line and keep drawing, if you take the other line and keep drawing, after 1 year, we both end up in 2 different countries. You know why? Because that's the power of 1 degree shift. If we keep drawing those lines, if you look at the slide here, though they look similar, they look like single line initially. By the time the slide has ended, they got a huge gap this much, right? So if you keep drawing, the gap keeps increasing and we end up in two different countries. After 3 years of drawing it, we end up in two different continents. Agree, yes or no, friends? Isn't it? So that's, my friends, is the power of a 1 degree shift. Small shift makes a huge variance in the long run. And that's what this program is all about. We are not going to learn rocket science here. We're going to learn simple, powerful strategies. Every week we come here, we learn some simple strategies. And as you apply them consistently, initially you may not find difference, friends. As you keep applying these strategies initially, you may not find any difference. But if you do it with consistency, in the long run, friends, you have no idea from where you are to where you can be because of the 1 degree shift. And that's what this program is about, because I believe that genius is less about genetics and more about habits. Do you agree, friends? Becoming a genius is less about genetics, but it's more about habits. So if we can build the right habits, if we can build the habits of the top 4%, why? Because do you know human beings are habit creatures? We basically are habit creatures, friends. You know, 80% of your day you do out of habit. Do you know that? 80% of your day just runs on habit. So if you can build some great habits, if you can make that 1 degree shift positive habits, because I believe that small changes is equal to big results, right? So friends, what is 1 degree shift? Very simple, ma'am. So you draw a 20 degree, draw a 21 degree line. And though they look like the same line initially, but as you keep drawing both the lines, slowly the gap increases between the lines, right? If you keep drawing for 1 year, the gap becomes so huge that we may both end up in two different countries. So what it means is, though there is no much difference initially, but in the long run, that small 1 degree shift can bring a big change in your life, right? So the same way, you need to ensure that if you can build some small positive habits towards building public speaking, like the 1 degree shift. Initially, you may not see much difference, but in the long run, I know it that you are going to gear up to the next level of your life when it comes to speaking with power. Got it? Just type yes.
Yes. Move ahead.
Fantastic. Thank you for saying yes, but I want you to be on mute, please. Everyone on mute, please. Good. So let's go to the last lesson in the basics, and that's called the nose of the horse. Please make a note of it. Lesson 4 is nose of the horse. I have limited control here. So, sir, if someone can, yeah, fine, got it. Yeah. So, friends, so now we understood fish, we understood the power of communication is a connecting power. We also understood the power of 1 degree shift. Let's learn the last topic in the basics, and that's called the nose of the horse. Friends, do you know this, friends, that when a horse race happens, right, the horse race, the horse that comes first, let's say it's awarded 10 crores. Example, the first horse was awarded 10 crores. The second horse was awarded 5 crores. The third horse was awarded 1 crore. Example, right? So if you observe, which means, friends, that the first horse got 10 crores and second got 5 crores, which means the first horse got double the money than the second horse, right? And the third horse got 1 crore, which means the first horse got 10 times more money than the third horse. Agree? So friends, does it mean that? Does it mean that the first horse, it ran double the speed of the second horse? Or does it mean that the first horse ran 10 times more faster than the third horse? Does it mean that, friends? Type your answers, please. Absolutely not, right? Just because it got 10 crores, it doesn't mean that it ran 10 times faster than the third horse, right? And it doesn't mean it ran double the speed of the second horse. Agree, friends? Right. You know how fast it might have run? Just the nose of the horse. Maybe at the finish line, The first horse's nose, it came little first compared to the other horses. Agree, friends? Type yes. Isn't it? The nose of the horse is all the difference it might have made. But that small difference made it win all the rewards. Agree? And that's true in life, my friends. That's exactly what top 4% people do. If you think top 4% are miracle workers, they are not. If you think top 4% are extraordinary, they are not. But the only difference they do is they are just a nose of the horse better than you, friends. You know why? Because they learn the right strategies and they are just a nose of the horse extra milers. Understand this? So if you want to be in the top 4%, all you need to do is you have to learn the right strategies in life and just be a nose of the horse better, a little extra miler than other people. And that is all we need to do if you want to be successful. If you understood so far, that finishes our first chapter called the basics. Now we know what success means. It means fish. We also know to make our fish look wonderful, to grow our fish wonderfully, we need to have the power of communication. We also know that power can be built by just 1-degree shifts, which this program is all about. We also know that we don't have to do extraordinary things. We just have to be a little nose of the horse better than other people. If you understood the first 4 lessons, type 4 in the chat box, please. Very, very genuinely interested. I'm genuinely impressed by your active participation. Please keep doing it, right? Good. So friends, let's now move to the second chapter. Now that we understood the basics, so let's dive into building the power of public speaking with the second chapter. Please put the heading to it. It's called the 4 prerequisites. So welcome to chapter 2, the 4 prerequisites, right? So friends, even before you build the skill of public speaking, there are 4 basic requisites you need to know. You need to have clarity about 4 things. Remember this point that clarity equals to power. Do you know that? Clarity equals to power. So before even we learn public speaking skill, there are 4 things we need to have clarity about, and that's called talk. T-A-L-K. Before even you talk, you have to know the talk, right? So the 4 things, please make a note of them quickly. The first thing you have to have clarity, my friends, is you should know the topic. How can you deliver a powerful speech without you having no clarity about the topic, right? So step 1 is you need to have a lot of clarity about the topic you're going to speak on. And for the purpose of this program, for the purpose of we building our skill on public speaking, for this program purpose, let's take a topic. It's called how to overcome stress. We'll take the same topic to be on the same page, right? So put the topic name, right? Topic name, it's called how to overcome stress. So let's say we'll take this as a topic because we know that no matter who you are, we have to face stress at some stage or the other in life. Either in personal life or professional life, we know stress is something which we all need to know how to overcome. Agree, friends? Type yes. Right. So let's take this topic, how to overcome stress. So now we have clarity as to what topic we're going to speak on. The next clarity we need to have, T-A-L-K. T is topic. Write down A stands for audience. Please write down A stands for audience. The second clarity you need to have is who are my audience? Broadly speaking, audience are of 3 categories, friends, right? We call them equal audience, or we call them the above level audience, or we call them the below level audience, right? Basically, whenever we speak, we have to have clarity about the topic. We must also gain clarity about the audience. Who are your audience? Who are the audiences speaking to? Are the equal audience, above level or below level? Equal audience are the ones who are equal to your cadre. For example, if you are a student, you're speaking to students, that's equal audience. If you are a student, you're speaking to the top managers. If you're speaking to the CEOs of companies, that's above level audience. If you are a student, if you're speaking to students who are below you, maybe you're speaking to school students, example, okay, who are below you, that's below level. So before even you speak on the stage, gain clarity as to who are your audience. For the purpose of this program, now you know the topic is how to overcome stress. So my dear friends, type your answers in the chat box. If I give you a topic called how to overcome stress, whom do you want to speak to? Just type your answer. Do you want to speak to equal audience on this topic? Do you want to speak to above level audience or below level? Please type your answers, please. It's up to you. It's the choice is yours, but just decide who can be your audience. Okay, some of you want to speak to equal, some of you want to speak to below level, some of you want to speak to above level, some of you want to speak to all the people. Good. Friends, we can speak to all of them, but for the purpose of this program, for the first assignment, which I'm going to give you, let's fix one category. Okay, don't take all, decide any one. Okay, good. So now we know the topic. Now we know who your audience are. You decided it as to above, equal, or below. You decided it. Congratulations. The third clarity now you need to have is write down TALK. T is topic, A is audience, L stands for write down leading objective. Please make note of it. The third clarity you need to gain is what is my leading objective? I'll explain. Write down leading objective. My dear friends, do you know this? That when you speak on a stage or when you speak to a group of people, generally we have three objectives, friends. We speak with three objectives. One, we speak either to educate them, or two, we speak to motivate them, or three, we speak to entertain them, right? Generally, whenever we speak, we have three objectives in speaking to people. One, we speak either to educate them, or to motivate, or to entertain. Frankly speaking, if you want to be a great speaker, you have to use a combination of them. You have to actually use a combination of all the three. Agree? But among these three, one must be your leading objective. One must be your primary objective, your leading objective. So right now, let's say, for example, if your topic is how to overcome stress, and you also know your audience, you know whether you want to speak to equal, above, or below, you have already decided that, right? So now the next thing you have to decide is, what do you want to your audience? Do you want to educate them, motivate them, or entertain them on the topic how to overcome stress? Please type your answers, please. What do you want to do? It's up to you. Anything is fine. What is your leading objective on that topic called how to overcome stress? To the audience, you decided. Do you want to educate them primarily, or motivate them, or entertain them? Decide. Fantastic. See, now you see, we have a lot of clarity now. Even before we speak, we have clarity now as to what is my topic, who are my audience, and what's my leading objective. There's one last step left. One more clarity required in TALK. K is left out. Please write down K stands for. And Nayan Gupta, again, friends, Nayan Gupta, let me tell you this. If you say a combination of all the three, absolutely yes. We have to use a combination of all three. But decide which is your leading one, right? Use all the three. But what is the leading one you got to use? You got to decide that. Okay. And finally, let's look at the last clarity requirement, and that's called the key message. Key message. Friends, listen carefully. Now you know your topic, you know your audience, you know your leading objective, right? So let's say, for example, the topic is how to overcome stress. Let's say my audience are equal audience. Let's say my leading objective is to educate them. Example, right? So if that is what it is, then what is the key message of my speech? Now, what is key message? Listen, friends, listen carefully. Among these four, TALK, K is the most important one. So listen carefully. You have to decide with clarity that by the end of my speech, for example, for my equal audience on this topic, to educate them, by end of this topic, I should be able to deliver this message to them. This is the key message I want to deliver to them. I should be able to write it in a one-liner. That's the point. In a one-liner, I should be able to write it. Example. Okay, example. For my equal audience, by the end of my speech, I want to make sure they learn 3 simple strategies how to overcome stress. You got it? Or one more example. For my above level audience, by the end of my speech, they should be able to understand five important reasons why stress is caused. That's it. So in one liner, I should be able to write my key message. You know why that's so important, friends? Because if you don't have such clarity as to what you want to deliver home to them, if you don't have clarity as to what they have to drive home, the key points, then your speech becomes vague. But when you have clarity in a one-liner as to what you want to deliver to them, your entire preparation, your entire practice revolves around, your entire content building revolves around the key message. Agree, friends? Type agree. Correct. Good. So right now, I want you to take 30 seconds time. Take 30 seconds time and write down your key message in a one-liner. You should write it. The format looks like this. By the end of my speech, the topic is how to overcome stress, right? So by end of my speech, my audience will learn dash dash dash. That you have to have clarity. Please write in that. Write down your. Please explain again in brief. Very simple. By the end of your speech, what do you want your audience to take home? What is the key message you want them to take home? That's your key message. Write that in one liner. For example, by the end of my speech, my audience should know 2 effective methods to overcome stress. Example, like that. Yeah. So everyone, please write it down. Okay. Vaipo says, I want to teach my audience how to maintain mental balance. Nice. You'll teach. Okay. I will teach my audience how to be practical. Very good. Anything is fine, but you need to have clarity as to what is that message you're delivering it. Because once you have that clarity, you can build your content based on the key message. Stop overthinking and start living. By the end of my speech, by overcoming stress, you will be mentally and physically strong. Okay. How to be calm. Okay. How to avoid stress. 5 simple tips for regenerating yourself. Okay. Be a knowledgeable person. Okay. Time management. Live in current and not in past and future. Okay. Good. Anything is fine, friends. Anything is fine. Tips to be stressful, Sachin. Tips to be stressful. Okay, I think tips to be stress free, right? Okay. Okay. So how to take stress as a daily life game? Okay, manage stress before it manages you. Good, 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 good. Very nice, impressive, nice. So now you have clarity, friends. This clarity is required even before you think of going on a stage and speaking. You should have clarity about the topic, your audience, your leading objective, and your key message. If you understood so far, we are done with chapter 2, talk. Friends, if you understood so far, type yes, please. Very, very impressive. So here comes your first assignment, friends. For everyone, here's your first assignment. It's called version 1.0. Listen carefully, friends. This is your first assignment. I request you, if you want to build your skill, take every assignment very, very seriously, friends. What is version 1.0? I want everyone there to make a video. Friends, listen carefully. This is how the assignment goes. Please make a simple video. See, what you cannot measure, friends, remember, what you cannot measure, you cannot improve, right? So at your current level, we need to know where you stand today so that we can take you from there to the next level. So all I have to do is I want you to make just a 3 to 5 minute speech. That's it. Just a 3 minutes to 5 minute speech on the topic. You know the topic now. You know the topic is how to overcome stress. You know your audience. You decided that. You know your reading objective. You know your key message now, right? So based on this clarity, take a simple smartphone. Don't use DSLR cameras. Don't have to go with that. Just take a simple smartphone and just shoot a simple video. Just think for it. Take 1 day time. Google some points based on your key message and get some good stuff, right? And then maybe you practice for a while and then put the camera on and speak. Okay, and 3 to 5 minutes. Don't worry if you're not able to give your best shot here, because we are going to learn step by step as to how to elevate our life to the public speaking skills, right? So don't worry if you don't do it effectively now, but you need to know your current level. This is called version 1.0. Friends, the language, preferably English, but if you're not comfortable, you can use either Telugu or Hindi. I repeat, language, preferably English, friends. If you're having trouble, I don't mind you doing it in Telugu or Hindi, but try to prefer English, right? Okay, so now when you create this video, we call this version 1.0, and then we learn step by step a lot of strategies, the 1-degree shifts, how to build the skill of public speaking, right? All the next coming weeks. And then by the end of this entire program, we'll create version 2.0 with all the skills you acquired, with all the knowledge you built from this program. You create version 2.0, and believe me, friends, you'll be amazed when you look at your version 1.0 and version 2.0. You'll realize the kind of shift you made in your public speaking skill. You will witness yourself the kind of improvement you make, right? So now how to make a video is very simple. Take just your smartphone, and the only rule is keep the lens should be parallel to your eyes. That's the only rule. Keep it anywhere. If you have a tripod, at home, fantastic. If you don't have it, don't worry. Keep it anywhere, keep it still somewhere, and let the lens and your eyes be parallel. That's the only rule. And please don't hold it in your hand. Don't hold it in your hand. I'll tell you why. If you hold it in your hand, it obstructs your body language. So keep it somewhere and then speak, right? So that's your assignment, version 1.0. I request every one of you to take today afternoon, today evening, take time, just build some good points based on your key message, and then tomorrow shoot it and send it to me. By tomorrow night, I want every one of you friends to show your commitment, send me your assignment. If you do it, type yes. Are you willing to do it? Type yes. Fantastic. Friends, when you commit to something, stick to it, right? Now, yeah, where I should send it? That's a good question. Everyone, please take a note. Look at the slide. That's my WhatsApp number, friends. Make a note of it. It's 903 000 1012. So that's my WhatsApp number, friends. You can shoot the video and send it to me on my WhatsApp. Yes, 903 000 1012. Send your videos to my WhatsApp. Okay, good. So let's move on to the next chapter. Now that we understood the basics, we understood the prerequisites, it's time now to dive into the actual public speaking. Any questions so far, friends? Any questions so far? Oh, fantastic. You're not on WhatsApp? That's surprising, Priyanka. Okay, in that case, what you'll do is you can email me, Priyanka. My email address is welcome to advanced minds. Let me type it in the chat. Welcome to advanced minds @gmail.com. Welcome to advanced minds @gmail.com. Right? So Priyanka, that's my email address. You can email it to me. Okay, no Telegram, please. Just do it in WhatsApp, or you can email it to me. Friends, if you're using WhatsApp, please share on WhatsApp itself. Okay, can you share your PPT? Okay, friends, I think this entire session which we're doing right now, it is being recorded and it will be available on YouTube, including the PPT slides. It will be available on YouTube. So I think you can access it, right? Himanshu, good. So let's move on, friends. Let's go to chapter 3 now. Make note of it. The 4 major phases. Okay. Topic of the video. Topic of the video is how to overcome stress. So that's the topic, right? So how to overcome stress. That's the topic. Okay, now friends, now we understood the 4 prerequisites. Please understand, friends, from here on, If you want to build your public speaking skill, whether you're a beginner, you're just for the first time learning the skill of public speaking, or you are a person who's got experience already, or if you're a person who are already at a world-class level, doesn't matter. Even if you're a beginner, if you're world class, doesn't matter. If you want to excel in the skill of public speaking, we need to learn and master 4 major phases. That's it. This entire program is about learning and mastering 4 major phases. And we call these phases as the king and the eyes. I repeat, the king and the eyes. So what are those 4 major phases, right? So friends, let's look at them. Now, I think I gave this example to the previous batch. I want you to also ask you this question. Imagine, friends, a couple who's got newly married are going to a movie. They're going to a blockbuster movie, which is a favorite movie. And let's say the movie is about investigation types, okay, murder investigation kind of movie. They're about to reach the cinema hall. Now, that was the time when there's no corona. So they're going to the cinema hall. In 5 minutes, they'll reach the hall. When then they got a call. The husband gets a call that his parents are coming home. His grandparents are coming to town. They'll be reaching tonight. They're going for the evening show. And before the show ends, their grandparents will be home. The problem is the house is locked because they both came for the movie, right? So there are 3 options now. You people decide and tell me which option is better, friends. The first option, they can go back right away and they can give the keys to the neighbors and they can come back and watch the movie. But if they do that, they miss the first 20 minutes of the movie. They miss the beginning of the movie. Option 2, what they can do is they can come out of the hall maybe 15 minutes before the interval. They can go give the keys to the neighbors and come back. But that way, 15 minutes before the interval, they will miss it. Or the last option is if they come out of the hall before the movie ends, maybe the last 20 minutes, if they miss the last 20 minutes of the movie, if they go home, they can reach before their grandparents come home. So 1, they can miss the beginning, or 2, they can miss the interval, or 3, they can miss the ending, and they can get the things done. But the problem here is when they both discussed, they felt that they can't miss the beginning. Why? Because it's a murder investigation movie. The entire plot happens in the beginning, so it's not nice to miss the beginning. Then they again thought interval can be missed, but generally for such movies, a twist happens at the interval bang, right? So the interval bang is important because a real twist happens there. They don't want to miss it. And they thought it is not even a great decision to miss the ending because the actual things will be revealed at the end. Who is the murderer will come to know at the end of the movie, so they don't want to miss the ending. Now, friends, so they're in a dilemma now as to what should they miss: the beginning, the interval bang, or the ending. Friends, what do you think? Call the grandparents cinema hall. Okay, they can see the movie the next day. Okay, they can place alternate key in any secret place. Okay, I will drop the idea of the movie. Okay, skip the show. All right, see, friends, thank you so much. Okay, cancel the movie plan. Take grandparents also to the movie. All yeah, good, very nice. Thank you, friends. You know why we all are not able to give a common answer? Why we are not able to say let's miss this? We're not able to say that because we know, friends, that all 3 are important. Agree, friends? Type yes or no. Yeah, Netflix and chill. Okay, so do you agree, friends? We're not able to come to a conclusion which one to miss because all 3 are important. Agree, my dear friends? Isn't it? Similarly, friends, when you speak on the stage or when you speak to a group of people, even for us, all 3 are important. The way you begin, the way you deliver your content, and the way you close the speech, all 3 have got their own importance. When you go to speak before people, it's important, friends, we got to master all the 3 phases: the beginning phase, the content delivery phase, and the ending phase. We have to master all the 3 things, right? But my dear friends, I told you public speaking has got 4 phases, right? But beginning, content, ending. So even in speaking, we have only 3 phases, right? But what is the 4th phase now? Please make a note of it. And that's called the king phase. The king and the eyes, right? There are 4 phases. I repeat again, friends, 4 phases. If you master them, you can be a great public speaker. The first phase is called the king phase. Now, what is king phase? Is the phase where even before you start speaking, that's a phase, right? So even before you start speaking, there's a phase called the king phase. Let me explain. See, the moment you are in the audience, let's say, for example, you're in the audience, and the host of the meeting, they call it, they say, let's welcome Satish Valveti on the stage, please. And from the moment I get up, to the moment I come to the stage, I take the mic and start speaking. Now, that phase, even before I start speaking, that phase is called the king phase. Now, why is it called the king phase? You'll understand later, but understand that's an important phase. So that's the first phase you need to master. You need to learn what to do there. Then the second phase, as we talked about, is the introduction phase. Then how do you do it? Because remember, in the movie, all three are important: the beginning, the interval bang, and the conclusion bang. So the beginning phase is called the introduction phase. The interval bang is called the conclusion phase. And the conclusion phase is called the conclusion phase. So these are the three phases you need to master. So the moment you master these three phases, you will be able to speak confidently in front of the audience.
But students, there might be some problem with the speaker's internet connection. I request you to kindly hold for a minute. The speaker will immediately start as and when this internet connection will be resumed. Please bear with us. Sorry, an internet problem. No
Yeah,
issue.
friends, I think we have a small technical issue at the speaker end. We are in touch with him. As soon as we get the link with him, we will resume the session. In the meantime, please be on standby. Sir, GSR garu, are you there?
అది ఒక 2 minutes and there is a problem with the internet problem anta with Satish.
Okay, okay.
So there
Okay.
might be some issue about the internet, the connectivity and all these things. So
Right.
friends, as you all know that this session has been now started um, because there are earlier 2 sessions are there that are already covered in the first 1 hour. So the next part, the third session part will be covered now. So I request everyone to kindly make a note of it. So you please go to the Vijayawada branch of SARC of ICAI in the WhatsApp group that link has been given to you. You please subscribe the channel so that in the channel, whenever we place some new content, it will be reached to you. And also please see that in the playlist, the Excel and public speaking, both the things are available to you. So request you to kindly make use of that facility. Now that I think Satish sir has been back again, and over to Satish.
Sir, Satish Garu, I think you are back. Can you speak?
Unmute just call, sir.
Yeah, I made him co-host. Now he will be able to control.
Yes, sir. Now I can control. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much.
సతీష్ గారు ప్లీజ్ అంటే ఎవరైనా కనుక మీరు అన్మ్యూట్ చేయొచ్చండి అన్మ్యూట్ ఆల్ యూ కెన్ ప్రెస్ ది థింగ్ ది పార్టిసిపెంట్స్ as mute all. If there is
sure,
you
sir.
have to unmute yourself if there is any disturbance in between you.
Sure, sir. Thank you. Okay, so friends, sorry for the inconvenience, technical error. So okay, good. So thank you for welcoming me back. Okay, so friends, so 4 phases we need to master. Okay, the king phase, the intro, the core, and the ending. So let's go one by one quickly. First phase, please put a heading. Chapter number 5 is, chapter 4 is the king. Right? So what to do in the king phase? King phase, as I told you, is this phase even before you start speaking, friends. In this phase, you need to learn 3 important lessons. Please make note of them. The first one is called the snap judgment. Number 2 is the 2 objectives. And number 3 is 4 rules for the king. Let's go one by one. Let's start with lesson 1. It's called the snap judgment. Okay, so Nayan Gupta is today the revision class only. I don't think so. I want to cover things faster and I want to take you to the next topics also. Let's see how time permits. All right. So lesson 1 is snap judgment, friends. You know what to do before you start speaking. The snap judgment, what does it mean? Friends, let's think of this. A simple question to all of you. Type your answers in the chat box. Imagine that you are among the audience, friends. Okay, one day you're sitting in the audience and host announced a speaker to come. And let's say the speaker walks on the stage and look at the slide. He came like that, right? Just imagine he comes like that, and this person is not looking confident. He stands in a corner and he's got inappropriate body language. He's got no smile. Friends, question to all of you, frankly answer, will you like that person? Type your answers, please. Absolutely no, right? See, look at this. See, that's the point, friends. Just think of this. This person has not even started speaking, but we already don't like him. Did you see that? That's where the first phase is so important. Even before you start speaking, that phase is important, because look at the answers. Everyone said no. That person hasn't even started speaking, but you didn't like him. Why? Because understand, friends, that's called the snap judgment. Do you know, friends, 90% of the audience, they judge you in the first 20 seconds, even before you speak. All right. So when you come on the stage, even before you start speaking, there's something called the snap judgment. In just 20 seconds, depending on how you look, the audience, 90% of them, they judge you. Now, I don't mean to say that in case you create a negative impression, you can reverse it. Nothing wrong. You can always reverse it, but it's a tough job. You know, I like this quotation which says, you don't get a second chance to create a first impression. Agree, friends? Type yes. Right? So you don't get a second chance to create a first impression. Himanshu, how to overcome this? We'll talk in this phase. All right? So friends, so here are 2 objectives for us now. So because we don't want the audience to create negative snap judgment on us. Okay, I repeat, we don't want the audience to create a negative snap judgment about us, right? So what should we do? We have 2 objectives. So in this first phase called even before you speak phase, we have 2 objectives. One, we should make sure we look confident. And the second objective, even before we speak, we want the audience to like us, right? So two objectives. One, we should look confident. Two, we should make the audience like us. If you want this to meet these two objectives, friends, there are three things that matter. Please remember, three things matter. The one is how you move, how you stand, how you look. These three things matter, right? So now please understand why is this phase called the king phase. You know why? If you observe closely, the word speaking has got the word king in it. Agree? The very word speaking has got the word king in it. You know, which means that, do you know, my friends, when you go on a stage, when someone invites you on the stage, when you come on the stage, by default, people respect you. Do you know that? On stage, respect happens by default. Let me ask you this simple question. I want everyone to answer on the chat, please. Think of this, friends. Imagine you are sitting among the audience, and then the host invites a little boy, 10 years, little kid, 10 years boy. He comes on the stage, and today he's going to enlighten us with some great strategies. And he comes on the stage and he says, friends, everybody put your both hands up, and we all do it. Yes or no, friends? Type your answers, please. Isn't it? Now imagine, friends, the same 10 years boy, 10 years kid, he comes to you when you're doing something else, when you're standing somewhere, he comes to you and says, put your both hands up. Will you do that? See, we do that if he has got a revolver in his hand. Otherwise, we don't do that, right? Why? Because understand, on stage, audience, by default, they have this feeling that the speaker is a king. Respect happens by default, right? So you know why? Because the audience psychologically, they feel the person who's about to speak to us is superior in some way to us. That's why he got his chance to speak there. So he's superior than us in some way or the other. So they have that great feeling about you unless you spoil it. Remember that. Unless you spoil it. Remember this previous slide, that fellow came so timid, he stood in a corner, nervous. So if you spoil it, you spoil it. Otherwise, respect and superior feeling happens by default. So because they anyway are there among in the audience's mind, if you don't want to spoil your snap judgment of them, there are 4 rules you got to follow, friends. In the first phase, which is called the king phase, or even before you speak phase, if you can follow 4 simple rules, we call them the 4 rules for the king. Starting today, whenever you're called on stage, please make sure that you follow these 4 rules, and you will create, you'll meet the remember 2 objectives. You got to look confident, make audience like you, right? Those 2 objectives can be met. So what are the 4 rules? Make a note of it. Rule number 1, whenever you're called on the stage, my friends, please make sure you take the middle of the stage and feel like a king or a queen, right? Remember this, not in a corner, not in nervous mode. No. So you've got to take the middle of the stage and you've got to feel like a king or a queen. Feel it. There's a power in called as if. Psychologically, it's been proven that if you behave, friends, for example, the next 5 minutes, if you behave as if you are tired, you actually feel tired. If you behave as if you're sleepy, you actually feel sleepy. But the next 5 minutes, if you behave as if you're energetic, you get the energy. If you behave as if you're unstoppable, you feel that feeling. Do you know that? So you got to feel like a king or a queen. You take the middle of the stage. That's rule 1. Then rule 2. Once you stand there like that, like a king or a queen, step 2 is please don't start immediately. Don't be in a hurry to start it. Take a pause. Once you stand there like a king or a queen, when you feel like that, don't start immediately. Please take a pause. You know, maybe the host who introduced you is leaving the stage. Let him leave, right? So don't start in a hurry. Take a pause. 10 to 15 seconds pause is totally acceptable by the audience. So please make sure, rule 2, please take a pause. And when you take your pause, follow rule 3, and that is smile. During that pause, friends, please smile. Friends, everybody, I can't see you, but smile once. You know how beautiful you look? Go to the mirror, look in front and just give a smile. Friends, smile is beautiful. Okay, it's a curve that straightens many things. We know that, right? Smile is a certificate of confidence. There's a beautiful quotation which says, if you are a speaker and if you go on the stage without wearing a smile, you're not fully dressed. I repeat, if you are a speaker, if you go on the stage without wearing a smile, you're not fully dressed. So please make sure you add a smile during the pause. And the fourth rule, while you smile, scan. Scan. What is scan? As you take a pause, you smile. And as you smile, look to the left, look to the center, look to the right, look at the audience. All right? Just add the smile and look at your audience. So it's simple, 4 rules. I repeat again, take the middle, feel like a king or a queen. Rule 2, take a pause. Rule 3, while you're taking the pause, smile. Rule 4, while you're smiling, scan. When you do this simple act and then you start speaking, what happens, friends? The audience will feel that this person is calm, he's composed, he's confident, and they feel good about you and they start liking you. So even before you start speaking, you have won their hearts with the snap judgment. You made it positive. Did you understand so far, friends? Type yes in the chat box, please. So that finishes the first phase, the king phase. Simple. It is the shortest phase, by the way. King phase is the shortest phase because it's a few seconds before we start speaking. But those few seconds, we don't want to mess up our snap judgment. So we need to make sure we do this. Good. Nice, nice. Very nice. So now let's go to the most important phases: intro, core, and ending. So let's go to the intro phase, friends. Let me bring up the next PPT for you. All right. So now, friends, welcome to the most important phase, and that's the introduction phase. We're done with the king phase. So let's go to introduction. Friends, understand the next 3 phases are equally important. Like the movie example, where the beginning, interval, bang, and climax are important, same way, the next 3 are equally important. Introduction is very important. So is the core. So is the ending, right? So when you do introduction, friends, please make sure you do it with a fantastic bang. Okay, I repeat, when you do introduction of the speech, you've got to do it with such a fantastic bang so that the audience get connected. There's a very, very important sentence. Please make a note of it. Public speaking is not about perfection. It's about connection. Write down. Public speaking is not about perfection. It's about connection. They're world-class speakers like Anthony Robbins, Zig Ziglar, Earl Nightingale, Patricia Fripp, Jim Rohn, Brian Tracy, Nick Vujicic, Robin Sharma, Les Brown. I'm talking about the top speakers of the planet. Do you think these speakers are perfect? Far from it. Friends, understand, even these world-class speakers, they make blunders on the stage. Do you know that? Even they get stuck at times. They hesitate at times. They go blank at times. They stutter at times. Even they do that. But understand, public speaking is not about perfection. It's not about perfection. It's about connection, friends, right? So that connection need to happen right from the beginning. You can't expect the connection to happen at the end, because if you lose them, you lose them. So make sure you should know how to do the introduction of the speech with a fantastic bang. And you don't stop there. When you do the core content, after introduction, the core content, you should be able to hold the enthusiasm. The connection you made, we don't want that to get disconnected. Now you made the connection in the introduction. You should know when you deliver your core content, how to hold that enthusiasm so that they don't get disconnected. We'll learn how to do that. And finally, when you end the speech, you need to make sure it's a great climax so that you can reach the hearts of your audience. Friends, do you know this? Most of the audience, they don't remember what you say. They just remember how you made them feel. I repeat, when you finish your speech, more than they remember what you said, they remember how you made them feel. And how you make them feel is generally based on a great climax. So you will also learn how to conclude your speech powerfully so that you can reach the hearts of your audience. Right? So let's start one by one. We'll start with introduction. Friends, now you tell me, when a movie is made, okay, when you watch movies, right? So So when a movie is made, what do you think? Do you think the hero's introduction is just happens any way they like, or do you think they plan it? Type your answers, please. I repeat my question. When the hero's introduction it happens in movies, right? Do you think they just make it in any way it happens, or do they really plan it properly? Obviously it planned, right? So if you observe any movie, the heroic introduction happens in a bang. Okay, it's not that it's not that Amitabh Bachchan or Mahesh Babu, they just come with a cycle that's spoiled and they sit and they make the chain and they don't do all that, right? So there's a bang, there's a way they start it. It's planned. Agree? The same way, my friends. Let's watch a 20-second video.
Bringing up the heat now. Get ready for the show.
All right. So see, it's just 20-second video, but look at the kind of effects they try to create, the kind of picturization, the kind of music, the kind of beat, the kind of background. Why? Because audience like it that way. Yes or no, friends? Audience like it that way, right? The same is true with you, friends. So remember that when you are a speaker, you got to remember that when you go in the introduction part, you are a hero for yourself. Okay, so when you start your speech, you got to know, even you have to plan your beginning. And here's the good news, friends. In this chapter called Introduction, we'll be learning 12 effective ways, not just one. I'm going to give you 12 fantastic ways how you can start your introduction. Now, these 12, believe me, are taken straight from the research done on the world-class speakers. I repeat, these 12 strategies I'm going to give you are a straight research from the world's best speakers. Which one do you use? It's up to you. Depending on your topic, depending on your audience, you can use any of these 12 and you can create that bang effect in the beginning itself. So before we learn those 12, we need to understand there are 3 lessons we need to learn here. Lesson 1, this chapter is we learn 2 objectives. When we did the king phase, remember the king phase, the first phase, king phase, we had 2 objectives: to look confident, and also what's the second objective? To make the audience like you, right? The same way, when you do introduction, there are 2 objectives for you here. And you have to learn a few things to unlearn first. And then you learn a dozen great ways. So let's start with 2 objectives. When you do introduction, friends, 2 objectives. First objective is you have to learn how to grab the attention. That's your first objective in introduction. If you go and start speaking and if the audience are busy doing something else or the other, that's never going to work that way. The connection doesn't happen. You should learn how to grab the attention of your audience. And the second objective is you should learn how to take them from A to B. Which means in the introduction itself, the audience should know, okay, by listening to him, I learn from where I am here to where I can be. So they need to have clarity about that. For example, if my topic is about examinations, okay, or students on memory power. So if I do the introduction and I tell them, friends, by the end of this speech, you'll be learning 5 simple techniques, how to double your memory power, example. So now the audience know, okay, I'm going to learn 5 tools to improve my memory. So that clarity you need to give them in the introduction itself. So first objective, grab their attention. Second objective, take them from A to B. Clear so far? Type clear. So how do we do it? How do we create that bang effect? I'll be teaching you 12 great strategies, but before that, we have to unlearn a few wrong practices. I'm sure when you go to seminars, when you sit and when you watch as an audience, the bad news, friends, statistics say out of every 10 sessions, 10 seminars happen, 7 are boring. Do you know this? Unfortunately, out of every 10 sessions that happen today, 7 sound boring. Agree, friends? Type yes or no. With all due respect to the speakers, nothing against them, but the truth is people don't know how to master these 4 phases. The king phase, introduction, core, ending. Unfortunately, because of lack of knowledge on these 4 phases, they don't create the connection, and so audience feel bored. So you need to understand what not to do before we learn what to do. So 7 things you should not be doing, friends. Please make note of them quickly. 7 things you should not be doing. Number 1, please write down, my name is. Please don't start with this start, my name is. Okay. Now, what do I mean? Don't start with the topic like this. So we don't start with, my name is Satish. Today I'm going to speak about how to overcome stress. Don't start like that. Why? Actually, it's a good starting, right? Nothing wrong with it, right? But I'll tell you why. Because there's a possibility that even before I come on the stage, the host announced about it. The host said, let's welcome, join your hands together and welcome Satish, who will wait on the stage. He's going to enlighten us today about how to overcome stress. And then I come, right? And again, if I come and say, my name is Satish and today I'm going to speak about how to overcome stress, what happens is audience will feel, I know it. They feel that I know that. The host just said that. We can see the slide behind your head. We can see your name there. We can see the topic name there. We have seen the banner outside there, and we know the topic. We know your name. We have got an email last week. We know the topic. We know your name. So the audience will feel we know it already. So that becomes a weak starting, friends. Nothing wrong, okay? Nothing wrong, but it becomes a very weak starting. W-E-A-K, a very weak start. We don't want to start like that, right? The second one, please write down, is insisting response. I humble request you not to do this. I see many speakers doing this, but this will not be again a great start. You know what insisting response means? They come on stage and say, good morning, good morning, good morning. And then they make the audience shout back. And again they shout back. Have seen that happening, friends, once in a while. So now that, again, these are not wrong, okay? It's nothing wrong with them. But the problem is these are called weak startings. I'll tell you why. It's like you're literally slapping the audience to give you attention. But that's a little rude, isn't it? It's like you make them literally shout even they don't want to do that. So you make them do it again and again and again and again. So it's more like you're insisting a response from them. Some audience may not like it. So don't do that. The third way I don't want you to start with is your self-degrading. Don't start degrading yourself, friends. You know, I see some speakers doing this. They come on stage and say, good morning, friends. Actually, I'm not as knowledgeable as you people are. I'm not as skillful as you people are. You have more experience in life I don't have. But today, let me explain a few things. No, if you say that, if you start degrading yourself, you're actually insulting your audience. Do you know that, friends? I'll tell you why. Friends, today we live in a world where parents don't have time for their kids. We live in a world where the husband doesn't have time for the wife. And such people in such busy schedule life we're living, if they take time of 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 hours and they come and sit to watch you, you know, it's like unbelievable. If you lose money, we can get it back. If we lose time, we can't. We know that, right? And if they are giving you the most precious thing, the audience are giving you their time. And when they give that time and you go and say, I'm not worthy, you're insulting them. You're telling them, boss, you are fools wasting your time with me, is what you meant, what it looks like. Isn't it? The audience literally feel you're making me a fool by making me sit here for 3 hours and listening to you when you're not worthy. Why do you want to have that board in your mind, on your neck, that I'm not worthy? So don't self-degrade. That's not looking humble. That's looking like self-degrading, is more like insulting the audience. Don't do that. Right? The fourth mistake, please avoid, and that's the opposite of self-degrading. It's called trumpet blowing. Don't even do the opposite of it. Okay. So some speakers, they go on the stage and say, friends, my name is so and so, and I travel across the globe. Yesterday I was in Spain, and tomorrow I'll be in Egypt. And today it's your fortune. You saw me here. They pay me lakhs of dollars everywhere, and you're so fortunate you have me for a few hours. I don't have time for you today, but just because your host requested me and paying me lump sum money, I'm here today. Don't do all that. Even if you are a wonderful person, even if you are the best on the planet, you don't have to blow your trumpet, do you? So please stop doing that. Okay, so don't start with self-degrading, neither start with trumpet blowing. Don't do both of them. Fifth point, friends, the fifth thing you should not be doing is don't start with an apology. Please don't start with an apology. Okay, don't start your session, the introduction part, don't use sorries. Okay, don't do that. Okay, you say a sentence, you say something wrong there, and you say sorry. You know what happens? You said some sentence and you said the sentence in a wrong way. Maybe it's okay. It's really okay. You move on. You move on and build connection with the audience. But if you say, I'm sorry, you know what happens? You're actually taking a torchlight and you're focusing your mistake to them. The possibility is when you say a wrong sentence, maybe 50% did not observe that. The 50% of audience didn't even observe that. As long as you take it forward, they come with you. But if you stop, say sorry, and point out that the mistake, you're actually making everyone to look at your mistake. And that makes you unprofessional. So at least don't do that in the beginning, friends. Don't start with sorries. Make sense, type yes in the chat box, please. Right, good. Let's go to the 6th mistake, friends. The next mistake looks very, very silly, but I see some speakers doing it. So I want you to avoid it. So please make sure you don't keep your phone on, right? The 6th mistake, please write down. Don't keep your phone on, friends. You know, I see some speakers do, though it looks silly, but you know, it's so irritating. Especially in introduction, you're about to build that connection and your phone rings. You know what's more horrible? Some speakers lift and even start talking on the, and they don't even realize they're on the mic, right? So don't do that. You know, one best way is, I'll tell you what I do. Okay, I switch off my phone or I put in silent mode whenever I go on the stage. But for safe side, always after my welcome slide, I have the second slide. It says switch off your mobile phones. That's actually not for the audience. It's for a reminder for me. So I know that if I haven't, I can double check it once, right? So please make sure you switch off or you put in silent mode. And the last mistake, please don't start your speeches with excuses. Don't start with an excuse. You know, don't start like this. You know, friends, I didn't sleep all night yesterday, so I'm feeling, I mean, I was sitting all night and making PPT for you, so I didn't even sleep last night. Don't do that. Or don't say, for the last 1 week I've been so busy I couldn't get time to make a PPT. But still, don't do that. Don't give excuses. You know, I thought of coming on time, friends, but you know, because you know, traffic in the city, don't give excuses. Don't start with excuses. Why would the audience care about your problems? They have their own problems to take care of, isn't it? So they are interested to bring their life to, they're interested to learn from you how you can elevate their life. They're not interested in your excuses. The more excuses you give, the more you look like a weak person, right? So please don't start with excuses. Don't say, my son made this PPT because I had no time, so that's why the spelling mistakes here. Don't do that. So that makes you unprofessional, right? So 7 things to avoid, friends. Quickly summarize. 1, don't start with my name is. 2, don't insist response. 3, don't self-degrade. 4, don't blow the trumpet. 5, don't apologize. 6, don't keep the phone on. And 7, don't start with excuses. And that will be a mistake. Can you see a mistake on the slide there? So this starting can be a mistake if you start with any of them. I'll tell you why. Because frankly speaking, friends, these 7 methods are not blunders. These are not blunders. But if you start with any of them, the only problem is we may not be able to meet our 2 objectives. Objective 1 is to grab the attention. Objective 2 is to take them from A to B. This, if need to happen, you need to have some better choices to start than these 7 methods. Understood the mistake? Type yes. Very good. Okay. So now, then how do we start? If we should not start like this, then how should we start our speech? Let's learn 12 great ways. Let's learn 12 great ways, friends. Please make a note of them one by one. The first one is called involve. Involve your audience. When you go on the stage, the first thing you got to do is you try and involve your audience. Let me share with you how I do it. For example, when I go on the stage and let's say I'm going to talk to students, okay, example. So what I'll do is I'll say all the boys sitting here, your group A, and all the girls, your group B here. And they say all the boys put your hands up, they all will put their hands up. And say all the girls put your hands up, they put their hands up. And then I'll say, friends, boys and girls, you both have a competition now. And the moment I say competition, they come on, that boys and girls, so they charged up. And I say, when I say yes now, when I say yes, boys will not speak, girls, you're supposed to shout. Now, what do you shout? You have to shout, we want success. And I want to see among these 2 groups, which group will shout loud. When I say that, friends, they're really like, come on, man, I'll prove that I can shout louder. This is what it's like, the mass tendency, right? So when I say yes, and all the girls, they scream, we want success. And I say boys, and they shout more loud. And I say, both of you shout together, and they do that. And they make them clap for the energy levels they have. And then I start. I'll tell you what happens here when I do that kind of involvement. Let's say by the time I come on the stage, maybe some boys are busy talking to themselves, some girls are busy talking, maybe they're on the cell phone, they're in their own world. But when this happens, it's like they are involved into me and they get the clap for it. And then I start, I got them, got their attention. Make sense? Type yes, my friends. One more way. Example, you can go on the stage and say, everyone, friends, keep your hands on your heart. Okay, now let's do it. Okay, let's do it. All of you there, friends, keep your hand on your heart. Please do it. I can't see you, but please participate. Keep your hand on your heart. And everybody say, I will be a great speaker. Please say that. I will be a great speaker. Fantastic. So now, okay, that's Chandana. Isn't that insisting response? It is not insisting response. I'll tell you why. If they don't shout, if I keep making them shouting again and again until I get the response I wanted, if I insist again and again for them to shout, now then it's insisting. But here we're trying to involve. You find the difference, Chandana? Once they shout, we want success. If I make them shout again, till I get the response I wanted, if I insist them again and again, that's called insisting. Right? But if I involve them by making them shout, that's not insisting response. Don't insist. You can expect the response, but don't insist. I hope you got the answer, Chandana. Right? So you keep your hand. So what you can do is, that's one more way of starting. You go on the stage and say, everyone keep your hand on your heart. Let's say your topic is about auditing. Example. Okay, you want to teach them something about auditing. You can go and say, friends, keep your hand on your heart and say, I love auditing. And they all say that. And then you'll say, shake your hand with the next person next to you and say, you also better love auditing. And they'll do that. You know, believe me, it's so much of fun. So even if I'm busy on my phone, if the next person gives me a shake hand, I have to, right? So you are involving me, breaking my pattern of doing something else and pulling my attention towards you with some involvement. Did you understand, friends? Type yes. Good. So involve them. You know, I do one more thing when I come to especially school students. School students are awesome. There is energy bubbling in them, right? School students, 8th, 9th, 10th class, with high energy levels they have. So you know what I do? I go to school students and say, my dear friends, everyone stand up once, jump once, give a high five to the next person, wish them good morning, and then sit down. You must look at that. Believe it, you must look at that, the kind of energy, it doubles your energy, friends. Do you know that? Involve them, you grab their attention. And then you take them from A to B. How? Very simple. Once they're energized, you grab their attention, then you can say, friends, today let's learn 5 simple tips how to overcome stress. Example, right? So you can take them from A to B, but first is involve, first grab their attention. Grab their attention, one great way is by involving. Let's look at the second great method. We're going to learn 12, by the way. Second method, write down need or problem. Second great way you can start is by need or problem. Make a note of it, please. Need or problem. Now, what do I mean? Friends, when you go on the stage, if you can show your audience that you are a solution provider, they hook to you. I repeat, if you can be a solution provider, audience, you got them, friends. You got the connection. Let me explain. Suppose when I do this parenting programs, one of my signature programs is magical parenting. When I go on the stage, just imagine this. If you are a parent, okay, and if I go on the stage and if I start like this, I say, good morning, friends. How many of you want to learn one powerful strategy today which will help your children to reduce their gadget time by 80%? Put your hands up. How many friends do you think will raise their hands? Type your answers, please. I repeat, if I say, how many of you friends want to learn one powerful strategy today which will help you to reduce your children's gadget time by 80%? Put your hands up. You know, some parents actually both raise both their hands. Seriously, right? Why? Because I am addressing their need or the problem. That's the problem they're facing. Most of the parents, they're not knowing how to make their little kids come out of the gadget world, right? So when I'm addressing that problem, like they'll say, come on, man, I want this, please tell me. So they're like, I grab their attention. Even if they're busy talking to others, even if they're busy doing their cell phones, but they focus now because I took their attention. I got the connection. Agree? Friends, one more example. Let's say I'm talking to students. And what if I tell my students, friends, irrespective of how you studied so far, I know you have 20 days left for the examination. And today I will be learning 2 techniques. If you follow those 2 techniques in every subject, you can score 20 marks extra. How many of you want it? How many think? Love to listen to that, friends. Type me. Type me in the chat box. Isn't it? Why? Because that's your need, right? So that's a need of yours. See, if I can really help you with your need, I can help you to solve your problem. Audience love you for that. So that's how you start. Than just saying, I'm not worthy, friends. I don't have experience. I don't know much. You know better. Instead of starting like that, instead of starting like, friends, my name is Satish, and today I'm going to talk about, instead of that, if you're going to speak on a technical topic, how can we use this second step? Good point, Priyanka. See, the point is, even if it's a technical topic, what is it you're going to help them with this technical topic? So by the end of this speech, what is it that you're going to put into their minds? Example, in this technical topic, let's say you are going to enlighten them with 3 powerful points on how to maybe solve a problem, or the need of it. You can use it. And Priyanka, that's a good question, because I'll tell you why. There are 12 ways we're going to learn today. Okay, 12 ways we're going to learn in this chapter. Out of 12, I strongly agree that we may not be able to use each strategy for each topic. No, but the good news, you have 12 like a menu card. So depending on your topic, depending on your audience, you can handpick the one that suits the most. So Priyanka, I would strongly recommend that you look at all the 12 and then choose the best one that suits your topic. Make sense, Priyanka? Type yes, please. Priyanka? Okay, good. Thank you. So that's the point. So I agree with you. So sometimes your topic, this method may not suit it. May not, or maybe even, I don't know. So depending on topic, depending on the audience, among these 12, pick up the one that suits the most, right? So let's go to the third method, friends. The third great way of starting is, please make a note of it, it's called tickle the audience. Tickle the audience. Friends, if you got sense of humor, if you can make the audience start with a laughter, if you can make the audience laugh, you got them. Because when you can make them laugh, you got them connected, friends. You know, one of the best emotions is laughter. So if you can tickle the audience. But my dear friends, if you're using this method, within brackets, write down, be careful. The third great way is, if you have sense of humor, you can always start with a funny incident or a funny story or a joke that is relevant to your speech, right? You can always start like that. Nothing wrong with it, but you got to be really, really careful. I'll tell you why you should be careful. Friends, let's say I want to ask a question, how to control body shivering while speaking. We'll come into that. We'll learn that in the future, right? So right now, let's focus on how to introduce. So friends, I want to ask a question to all of you, friends. Tell me this answer. Let's say you went on the stage, you tried this third strategy. You went on the stage, you told them a joke, okay? And nobody laughed. Tell me what happens. Answer, please. What happens? You told a joke and no one laughed. So what happens to you? Like, how do you feel? How do you feel? Type your answers. How do you feel? You lose your confidence. You feel defeated. You feel nervous. You feel awkward. You feel embarrassed. You feel bad. You feel irritated, terrible. You lose confidence. Exactly, right? Friends, let me tell you actually what happens. Okay, let me tell you actually what happens, friends. If you go on a stage, you tell a joke and nobody laughs, you know what actually happens? Nothing happens. The audience did not get the joke. That's it. You can move on and you can build a connection from there on. But what happens is we don't do that. Our IC picks up. You know what IC means? Internal communication. Now that wakes up and it starts slapping us. You know why you wrote embarrassed, discouraged, and failure? You know why you wrote those words? Because your internal communication will wake up and say, you stupid, you spoiled it. You are worthless. Audience did not like you. You are not worth it. You messed up. So you are a failure. You cannot do the speech. See what you're done is what your IC will say. Agree, friends? Yes or no? So that's the problem. It's not about the audience. Audience are fine, friends. They accept it's okay. You told a joke, they didn't like it, fine. So imagine you among the audience. You sit there and he tells a joke, you didn't like it much, okay. But if he teaches you great stuff after that, will you listen, yes or no, friends? Isn't it? But the problem is the speaker slaps himself internally. And you know what happens? From there, it's a downfall. Because you're feeling worthless, because you're feeling discouraged, because you're feeling embarrassed, you know, the real stuff which you're going to give them, you will actually degrade yourself internally and you make the whole show look awkward. That is why if you want to tickle the audience, please be careful. Let me tell you how I start with a funny story. Okay, maybe it can give you an idea as to how I can use this how you can use this method. Sometimes what happens when I go on the stage, let's say I'm going to speak to people about a topic called how to, okay, I have a program called magical parenting, right? I told you magical parenting is one of my programs, or I have a program, signature program called Mind Gym. That's a program about time management. One of my most favorite topics is Mind Gym. It's about teaching you how you can be a most powerful time manager possible. So generally when I do this program, friends, I do it as a 2-day program, morning to evening, morning to evening. It's a 2-day program. But sometimes it so happens that some organizations, they call me and they say, I only have 1 hour time to speak, just 1 hour on time management. And I have a 2 full-day program, right? But only 1 hour is all they give me. So when such occasions happen, this is how I start my sessions. I start with this funny joke. Okay. So what I do is I go on the stage and say, friends, today, before we get into the time management, I have one major concern. The concern is generally I do a time management program for 2 full days, morning to evening, morning to evening. I do it as 2 full days, but today I was given only 1 hour time. So as I'm driving here, I was thinking in my mind, how can I deliver a 2-day program in just 1 hour? And as I was thinking on those lines, friends, I remembered this joke. I think you know this joke. This is what I say on the stage, okay? So I think you know this joke. You know what happens, friends? Once a new church was built, a big church, 1,000 capacity hall, a new church was built. And the church father, who is supposed to give a speech there, he becomes so excited. New church, 1,000 capacity hall, and the next day morning, the church opens, right? So the father gets so excited all night, he practices speech very well. But you know what happens, friends? Unfortunately, next day, early morning, it starts raining heavy rain, right? So he expects 1,000 crowd to come, but because of the heavy rain, only one boy will come. Just one boy, a cowboy. He comes and sits in the front row. Father's heart breaks, isn't it? He expects 1,000 crowd. And imagine, friends, only one fellow sits in the church, 999 empty chairs. So father becomes so disappointed. He throws a mic. He'll go to the boy. He says, son, I expected a big crowd here today morning. I practiced the speech all night, but only you came here. So tell me, son, what should I do now? The boy says, father, I'm just a cowboy, father. How can I tell you what you should do, father? But I know one thing, father. The cowboy says, I know one thing, father. If I take hay to feed my horses, if I take hay to feed my horses, father, and if only one horse comes to me, I will still feed the horse, father. I will not starve it. You got it? He says, even if one horse comes to me, I'll still feed the horse, father. I will not starve the horse. Father understands. Oh, Even if one horse comes, he'll feed the horse, which means he's telling me, even if one fellow comes, I must do the speech. Father says, son, I got your message. Don't worry, my son. I'll imagine a crowd here. I'll imagine 1,000 crowd here, but for you, I'll do the speech. So father, he goes back on the stage. He takes the mic, and for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, unbelievable speech. For non-stop 6 hours, he'll do the best speech possible. After 6 hours, the father, he wipes the sweat. He drops the mic. He'll go to the boy. He says, son, how is my speech? The boy says, father, I'm just a cowboy, father. How can I tell you how you did the speech, father? But I know one thing, father. The boy says, the cowboy, the boy says, but I know one thing, father. If only one horse comes to me, I will not dump the whole hay on the horse. I'll only feed a little. Yeah. So that's exactly what I don't want to do with you people, friends. Just because I have a 2 full day program, I don't want to dump the full 2 full days on you in 1 hour. In this little time, we'll learn a little, but we'll learn it powerfully. Shall we start? Is how I start, right? Now, when I said this incident, some audience may laugh, some may not. It doesn't matter. See, when you want to say something, when you want to tickle the audience, you try your best way. And if it works, fantastic. If it doesn't work, still fantastic. If you have that attitude, then try this method, right? So that's the third way, friends, tickle the audience. The fourth great way you can start is, please make a note of it, reputed people. The fourth fantastic way you can start your speech is by talking with reputed people. Friends, do you know Amitabh Bachchan? That's more than enough, isn't it? That very word of Amitabh Bachchan grabs the attention. If I say, friends, do you know my neighbor? Why would you care? Isn't it? If I go on the stage and start with saying, do you know, friends, my neighbor? Forget it. But if I say, friends, do you know Rajinikanth? You got it. You got them, right? You got them, right? So you got to make sure you got the reputed people whom the people are interested in. If you start talking about that, do you know 3 years back? Do you know 3 years back, Bill Gates was on a flight, and then you go on. Whatever you want to speak is fine, but you got the message, friends. Type yes. Reputed people. You start with them, you got them. Yeah, the way I use Zig Ziglar quote, yes. Okay, let me give an example, friends. You know how I use reputed people in my speeches. I'll give one small example. When I talk to students, okay, okay. So when I talk to students, friends, this is one example I use, okay. I talk about Swami Vivekananda because Vivekananda is a reputed person, right? And by the way, friends, even because you are students, I think this incident will interest you too, okay? I think you know this incident. You know what happens, friends? When Vivekananda was a small boy, it so happened once that he went to an examination, to write an examination, and the exam model was like this. 115 questions were given, 115, and it was said, answer any 100, right? I repeat, Vivekananda, even a small boy, he went to write an examination, and 115 questions were given, and it was written, answer any 100. And you will feel proud to know this, that Vivekananda, he answered all 115 questions, and he wrote a message, check any 100. Did you get it? This is something to think about, isn't it? The paper says, answer any 100. Vivekananda wrote, check any 100. He wrote all the 115 and he said, check any 100. My question to all the students sitting here, friends, how many sitting here, you want that kind of memory and that kind of confidence? Put your hands up. What do you think the answer would be from the audience? You got it, friends. You got to start with a fantastic bang. Okay. Okay, is it Sarvepal Radhakrishnan? Maybe I stand corrected, but from one of the books I read, it was Vivekananda there. Anyways, thank you for correcting me. I'll double check that. But whoever it is, but end of the day, you got a message that you got to speak about reputed people. So that's another great way of starting. If you're talking about health, example, if you're talking about health, you can talk about the World Health Organization, and that's it. You got them. Because WHO is something which is reputed. Either you talk about reputed people or you talk about reputed organization. That's a great way to start. Okay, Venkateswar Rao, what is difficult under examination condition? Okay, that's just an example, by the way. Okay, Venkatesh, this is an example, right? So when you got the logic, so one, you can start by involving them, or two, you can start by talking about need or problem, three, you can start by tickling them, or four, by talking with reputed people, right? The fifth strategy, write down. We'll stop with five. Okay, today we'll stop with five. Write down the fifth strategy, OMG. Friends, what is OMG? Type your answers in chat, please. What is OMG? Strategy 5 is OMG. What is OMG, friends? Type your answers in the chat, please. Exactly. Oh my God. I mean, that's a good movie, right? This is Bollywood movie. Oh my God. Nice movie, right? Anyway, so another great start, friends, is oh my God. If you can start this way, again, you grab their attention and you make a fantastic start. Now, what is oh my God starting? Let me give an example, friends. Let me give you share with you one of my live experiences. Friends, almost a decade back, almost 10 years back, I was at Mumbai attending a seminar, okay? And just think of this. This happened almost 10 years back. I still remember it as if it's done yesterday fresh. Why? Because the speaker I'm talking about used oh my God. Okay. It was a Rotary event, friends. 10 years back. This is a Rotary event, and I was one of the speakers there. Okay. It's a full day program where a lot of speakers come and they speak on various topics. So I was one of the speakers there, and my topic that day is I need to give them some motivation. Right. I generally have this habit of going at least 1-2 hours before my session starts, right? I have this habit of going to the venue at least 1-2 hours before. And so I went there, I sat among the audience. The speaker before me, okay, the person who's going to speak before I speak, the person is a doctor, okay? And his topic is awareness on AIDS disease, AIDS, right? AIDS. So his topic as a doctor is he wants to create awareness among audience about AIDS. And after his speech, then I'm going to speak, right? So I was in the audience, and believe me, that person, the doctor, started his speech with the OMG technique. Oh my God, starting. Let me tell you how he did that. He came on the stage, the doctor, he said, good morning, friends. And he said, everybody stand up. So we all stood up. And he said, shake your hand with the next person to you on right and left, shake your hands, wish them good morning, and then sit down. So what he did is he involved, right? From our strategy, it's involved strategy, right? So what he did that. So we all stood, we shook hands with right and left. We said, good morning. We smiled, we sat down. And then he said a statement. You know what the doctor said? He said, friends, do you know that among the persons you shook your hands with, there are 40% chances that they have AIDS? I repeat, he said, do you know 40% of them you shook your hands with have a probability of having AIDS? And you must look at the faces of audience, friends. Most of them took their handkerchiefs and started wiping their hands. And then he said, but my dear friends, AIDS don't transfer with shake hand. And everybody's like, thank God. And then he said, but let's learn how it actually gets transferred. And then he went on. Did you understand, friends? Type yes. See, that's the beauty of oh my God. You give them shock, a real shock to them, and you hook them and then teach them, right? Seriously, it's impressive, right? We should actually clap for the doctor. Type clap in the chat box, please. Yeah. So he said 40% of people whom you shook your hands with has a probability of having AIDS, and then he said, but AIDS don't transfer with shake hand. And we all are relieved. And then he said, today let's see how AIDS actually get transferred. And then we are all with him all through the session. Why? Because he did the oh my God starting. So friends, 5 ways we learned so far out of 12. We're not done yet. How to introduce 5 great ways. 1, you can involve. 2, you can do need or problem basis. Or 3, you can tickle them, but be careful. And 4, you can do something called repeated people's introduction. And 5, you can do with oh my God. Friends, I hope this Sunday I added some value to all of you there. If you think I did, please type yes in the chat box, please. Good. Friends, we're not done yet, right? We're just in the beginning. We understood the king phase. We are now trying to understand how to do the great introduction. We have to do the core and the ending too, and that will take some time. That's why we're going to meet again and again every single Sunday. And please don't miss the sessions, and sharp 11, be on time, and please revise the notes, do the assignment, especially all the participants who are coming here for the first time, who are attending this session for the first time. Please send me your version 1.0 to me. Be sincere, friends. Be committed. Build your skill and grow in life. So please send me your version 1.0 as quickly as possible. Right? Thank you so much. See you again next Sunday at 11 a.m. sharp. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I could not able to see you because I'm in the other computer. Thank you very much for the enlightening us on the three sessions, almost first two sessions you have completed totally. I request everyone to make use of the YouTube presentations that are there, sir, in the Vijayawada branch of SIRC of ICAI in the playlist. Kindly go to the YouTube channel of Vijayawada branch of SIRC of ICAI and go to the playlist, and don't forget to subscribe the channel so that you will get all the connecting things whenever the new program has been initiated, and make use of this facility given by the Vijayawada branch of SIRC of ICAI and the Vijayawada branch of SITASA to the maximum extent. Follow the techniques given by the speaker, and I request you, each and every person, to kindly involve in each and every session. Thank you.
Okay, sir. And one more thing, sir.
Sir,
I think
I think you have that YouTube this thing ఉన్నట్టుంది. మీరే you have to end the screen. I think.
okay, sir. Nenedi, I think there's already a WhatsApp group you created for the public speakers, sir.
Yes, sir.
Maybe you can add all the newcomers into it.
Sure, sir. Sure. I added everyone, but there are 2-3 persons. There are 5-6 persons who are in the last page, very very last. So
Okay.
I'll add them
Sure.
immediately.
Friends, if any one of you want to, if you're not part of that group, please contact sir and he will join you in that group. Right? So thank you so much once again. Have a great Sunday and have a great week ahead. See you next Sunday, 11 a.m. sharp. Good day.